Hey everyone, what's going on? It's Waseem here from the channel Handsome Smiles. Thank you for joining me in another video. Today I'm going to be doing a first impressions of an oud oil from a house called Yaaseen, and they sell their oud on Etsy. They also sell others and other natural oils on their Etsy store. So I'll leave a link to Yaaseen's Etsy store in my description below or in the comments below. So the oud that I'm going to be doing the first impressions of is one of their first releases, I'm sure, and this one is called Cambodi Khong. From what I've read online, this is meant to be a really animalic sort of Cambodi oil, so I'm really looking forward to trying this one. It's a plantation oud, and the oud there was no chemicals added, induced to create the oud for the trees. They were just drilled and left to nature in order for the trees to become infected with the fungus, and the tree then developing the oud resin to fight the fungus. So yeah, so there was no bad practices in terms of how this was distilled. From what I can read from the website, it is done ethically, which is very good to see. So this chap, Mustafa, he started Oud Yaaseen quite recently. This is a 2016 distillation, but he started his oud journey quite recently, and he's actually spoke to me, I think maybe either last year or the year before that, on Instagram, and he said to me, I've created an oud company and you've been a massive influence on me, being a massive influence on me. And I was just really shocked and pleasantly surprised when he told me this. So from what I remember of our conversation, he started off his fragrance journey much like myself, much like many people, just wearing designer fragrances, and then moving up in the world and wearing some sort of oils, and then coming across genuine oud oils. And I believe he came across Ensar Oud's website, and he looked at the prices and he just thought that the prices were insane and never really felt the urge to buy them. But then he researched and he came across my videos on YouTube, my review of Ensar Oud Yusuf, as well as reviews from Hulame Mutual and Brandon from the Therapeutic Fragrance. So three guys that he watched the videos, me and the other two guys, and he became more interested in oud and bought some oud. So I had a massive influence on him discovering oud, and then him starting his own oud company, which is insane, really incredible. And I believe he's been mentored and under the tutelage of a really respected attar maker, Abdullah from Melifluent. So he's been mentored by him, and Mustafa, he's created his company Oud Yaaseen, selling off Etsy, selling natural oils, attars and oud oils. So really amazing story, and I'm feel very blessed and privileged to give a first impressions of his oud called Khong, and it's a Cambodian oud, and it's a 2016 distillation. So we're going to give this a first impressions. Let's see how this oud is. So I've got quite a bit on the dipstick here, so I'm only going to swipe on a little bit over here. I did swipe quite a bit, so you know what, I'm going to wear that as my scent of the night. Ooh. Okay, first impressions of Cambodi Khong from the house of Oud Yaaseen. This has really deep red berries. Imagine really deep, dark red berries. There's a tiny little bit of funkiness coming from the fruits, so it's giving me a little bit of the fermented fruity vibe that I get from Thai oils, but Thai oils has a sort of brightness to it. This one, it has the fermented fruits, but there's some sort of depth to it. Wow, it's got like a really intense fruitiness, like really fermented fruit, but there's like an earthy undertone to it, which is giving it a little bit more of a depth. I can smell the leather coming through now. This is beautiful. This is the type of a Cambodi that I enjoy. There's a lot of Cambodian Thai oils, Krasna oils, which have a lot of fruitiness, but they don't have much of a backbone. This has a fruitiness, but it's not overblown. There's a fermented fruitiness, red berries with fermentation, but there's a backbone, and I'm getting earthiness and I'm getting leather. I love leather in Cambodians, especially why I enjoy oud Hindi ouds as well, because of the leather note. There's some leather in this as well. This is really nice. Even though this has a leather to it, it's coming across masculine, it's coming across a little bit, what can I say? It's not funky. It's not funky. Well, not to me anyway. Some people may find this a little bit funky, but this is definitely masculine, and it's definitely quite raw, quite rugged, but there's a fruitiness which calms it down slightly, and there's some earthiness. This is very beautiful. So that's my first impressions of Cambodia King Khong. I'm going to leave a link to Oud Yaaseen store in my description for his Etsy store. Please do check this one out if you are interested. But this is nice. This is an Oud Cambodia with some depth and some fruit and some leather. Really nice. So that's Cambodia King Khong. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please make sure to leave me a like and a comment below. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do. Until next time, my friends. See you later.